Hello, this presentation analyzes relationships of online learning, literacy, social literacy, and the global economy. The United States and the Philippines are the targeted countries for this inquiry. The COVID-19 pandemic thrust global education into online learning. The unexpected shift brought several benefits, limitations, and a mixture of both to light. A significant limitation was the world of education faced the same barrier: school closures. UNESCO reported that 1.4 billion students were affected by the closures, but a 2022 study, Distance Education and the Social Literacy of Elementary School Students During the COVID-19 Pandemic, showed the number exceeding 1.7 billion students that were affected. The closures also identified several barriers to online learning, such as technology issues, Wi-Fi access in rural areas, and teacher readiness. Having qualified and prepared teachers is significant and is listed as a Sustainable Development Goal in the 2016 UNESCO Creating Sustainable Developments for All report. The perspective of this study is to provide an appropriate and just analysis utilizing existing journal articles and studies to address the research question and problem statement. The study identifies the relationship, impacts, and barriers to literacy and social literacy and the global economy through existing literature. It explores distance learning and its connection by way of improved literacy and social literacy skills to the global economy. Globalization continues to bring the world economy's relationships closer. There is a significant need to educate children in the technical aspects of a global society. Distance learning can bring new ideas and perspectives and increase computer skills and literacy. Perhaps the most significant benefit of distance learning is the increase in social literacy. In an effort to remain consistent in meaning, the key ideas and terms identified in this presentation are in the context and are defined by the aforementioned 2022 study that was published by the National Library of Medicine. Literacy, the ability to understand, evaluate, and use and engage with written texts to participate in society, to achieve one's goals, and develop one's knowledge and potential. Social literacy transcends a student's capability to write and read and includes the mastery of literacy skills gained through social interactions with children and adults both in and outside a formal and informal curriculum. Technology issues range from hardware, software, Wi-Fi access, and teacher unfamiliarity with distance learning. Social challenges are associated with teaching and learning, both students and teacher. Parental support is a challenge associated with distance learning, such as parental absence from the home or lack of experience with online technology. The importance of society integrating into and competing in a global market and performing as global citizens cannot be understated. The current literature on online learners' relationships to social literacy and global citizenship is limited and needs expansion. Distance learning is a gateway to global citizenship, which is an underlying vision of the 2016 UNESCO Global Education Monitoring Report. However, significant barriers to distance learning, such as technology issues and social challenges, have been identified, preventing distance learning and its associated benefits from achieving its teleology, potentially impacting a person or persons and a community from engaging and participating in the global economy. This inquiry utilized current research and three topics. First, the impact of online education on literacy rates versus traditional in-seat classroom education. Second, investigating the relationship between online education and social literacy. And third, online and distance learning and its pertinence and global relevance. To answer the research question, quote, what does the literature say about the relationship between distance learning, literacy rates, and social literacy in the Philippines and the United States? This inquiry can benefit a large audience in global education. It prepares educators, students, program designers to advance towards global citizenship and engage in the global economy. Further, the inquiry has warrant, as the reader can easily surmise the reasoning for gaps in and benefits of distance learning towards literacy rates and the movement towards sustainable development of education. The UNESCO Sustainable Futures for All report identifies several targets, such as literacy, that underdeveloped countries must address to grow towards sustainable development. The COVID-19 pandemic shifted education to distance learning, and as such, distance learning stigmas were overcome by educators, students, and parents. However, new barriers to distance learning have been identified, and in some cases, teacher unpreparedness for online literacy platforms has been magnified. Due to the rapid expansion of the global economy, literacy and social literacy skills being taught need attention as their relationship to engagement and participation in the global economy are complementary. There is a need to research the relationship between literacy and social literacy and the global economy and what might be done to overcome the barriers to distance learning in undeveloped countries and to move towards sustainable development of education as outlined by the UNESCO 2016 Global Education Monitoring Report. Education saw recent events that shifted its impact and engagement with the global economy, the technology advancements, and the COVID-19 pandemic. The global mandate to move to distance learning has brought new challenges and benefits. Studies have shown that online learning can increase computer skills and literacy. The most significant benefit of distance learning, is the increase in social literacy. Social literacy is a crucial skill to continue to increase as social literacy prepares children for social engagement on a global level. The 2022 study mentioned before quotes that social literacy is an essential skill for every child enrolled in an academic program, end quote. Distance learning is a powerful tool with potential to significantly enhance computer skills, literacy, and numeracy, thereby improving social literacy. However, potential barriers, particularly in rural areas such as limited Wi-Fi access and teacher readiness, must be addressed. Therefore, there's an urgent need for immediate and comprehensive research to fully harness the potential of distance learning. Additionally, continuing to research in literacy and teacher readiness is complementary and directly addresses two of the sustainable goals in the 2016 UNESCO Global Monitoring Report: literacy and numeracy, and teachers. The literature regarding connections and relationships to literacy, social literacy, distance education, and the global economy is currently limited and needs expansion. The global shift to the COVID-19 pandemic to distance education identified challenges that impact students, communities, the global economy, and a community's ability to participate in the global economic boom. Some argue that there is a moral mandate beyond the goals of the 2016 UNESCO Global Monitoring Report to assist underdeveloped countries in participating in the global economy and driving them towards sustainable development for that country and its people. The literature was analyzed for quality and content and relevancy, clearly addressing the research question and problem statement. Some literature was directly relevant, and others were indirectly pertinent and could provide parallels that connect to the inquiry. The analysis process of quality determination for the literature was guided by the rating scales from Criswell and Clark's text, Understanding Research, A Consumer's Guide. The Criswell and Clark's rating scale was used for the quantitative journal articles used in this study and the evaluation study's design. Once the literature was reviewed for quality ratings, a preliminary literature map was meticulously constructed. This map serves as a valuable tool visually representing the categorized literature. It assists in drawing connections between the categories. The literature map is displayed here. The reviewed literature for this inquiry was rigorously analyzed to ensure it would be considered reputable and of high quality, utilizing rating analysis charts as described above. The nature of the limited inquiry of the literature was to identify connections between different topics and to address the research question. The literature reviewed in this inquiry shared a common theme. Quote, the researchers all stated that continued research is needed to validate the findings, end quote. Additionally, a significant portion of the reviewed literature were studies affirming the studies before them. For example, a literature article in a quantified study on the impact of online learning on reading comprehension skills found similar results as the previous studies regarding online learning and reading improvement. Two main points came from this study. Information communication technology keeps students engaged, and secondly, the researchers offered their opinion on what educators might do to sustain students' learning motivation. Using creative learning material might be one suggestion. The high quality literature reviewed in this inquiry not only provided relevant data to address the research question, but also identified potential new research questions. The post COVID 19 studies on online learning and increased diversity in global education offer valuable insights and set the stage for future research in these areas. The literature reviewed in this inquiry was not only relevant to the topics and problem statement, but also addressed the research question in a comprehensive and fair manner. The gathered literature was of high quality, and the review process followed the accepted protocols of peer-reviewed research and data presentation. The literature in the inquiry was reviewed, initiated, new questions of research to further study the aspects of online learning, literacy, and social literacy, global citizenship were developed. The results of the inquiry produced four key findings regarding relationships between online learning and social literacy. First, students embrace online learning. Second, online education increases comprehension. Third, social literacy skills increase through online learning. And fourth, numeracy skills improve through online learning. It was also discovered that, by comparison, the United States has a significant advantage over the Philippines regarding online education. The technology and its availability alone put the United States in a strong position of education and literacy, and the significant economic barriers to education in the Philippines faces widens the gap between the countries. Surprisingly, though, the inquiry uncovered that the Philippines' literacy rate far surpasses the United States at a time when online education was the primary education platform due to the COVID 19 pandemic, which leads to the further inquiry question of why. The literature reviewed provided several findings that are associated with the elements for this study. For example, the 2022 study, Distance Education and Social Literacy of Elementary School Students During the COVID-19 Pandemic, produced several findings. The study had three main findings: the factors that impact social literacy skills, the effects of distance education on social literacy skills, and the challenges of teaching in distance education and their effect on the development of social literacy skills. These findings are all significant elements to this study, the most significant of which was the surprise finding that teachers seemed to be unprepared to work with online platforms. This unexpected finding in this study was that teachers' lack of experience with technology and the distance education system. Another 2004 study, Students' Perception Towards the Quality of Online Education, the researchers sought to understand the relationship between students' perspective of quality of online learning. The study's findings are categorized into two groups: positive student perspectives and negative student perspectives. The reviewed literature continued to complement each other, building connections between the areas of interest within the inquiry: online learning, social literacy, and literacy rates, and make a case for online learning leading global citizenship. The significance on a macro level of this high quality literature is that it discovered that the many of the, quote, parts, quote, of the wheel, online education to social literacy and global citizenship, have been studied, albeit very limited. However, the, quote, sum of the pieces, end quote, meaning online learning and global citizenship, have few or no direct studies. Globalization continues to bring the world economies and relationships closer. There is a significant need to educate the children in the technical aspects of society. Distance learning can bring new ideas and perspectives, but also has been shown to increase the much needed skills to compete in the global economy. Perhaps the most significant benefit we've learned of distance learning is social literacy, and how social literacy is a crucial skill for children to engage with and compete in a global economy. While this inquiry presents a limited review of the literature connections and indicate the need to know more about the relationships of online learning, social literacy, and global citizenship, future research can identify new and innovative methods to incorporate online learning to global citizenship and sustained development. Moreover, when I have searched for the research reports of quantitative, qualitative, and mixed methods in the Philippines and the United States regarding online education, social literacy, literacy rates, there are few high-quality studies that connect online learning to global citizenship and becoming an impartial member of the global community. However, the limited research fails to answer the important questions. Quote, do online students increase numeracy skills that allow advantage over in-seat students when engaging in technological global economy? Second, what does the literature say regarding online education and its impact on sustainability of global education? 3. Can low-income countries overcome significant barriers to distance education, such as Wi-Fi availability, and allow lower-income students reliable access to online learning? And 4. What are the barriers to online learning and higher literacy rates in the United States? The last question may be of particular significance, as the United States ranks number 1 in the world for online learning platforms, yet the validated benefits of online learning and literacy do not seem to be realized in the United States. Globalization is rapidly bringing the world together. The COVID-19 pandemic abruptly shifted education to distance learning, revealing unforeseen barriers like limited access to technology and teacher preparedness. To ensure global citizenship and education sustainability, we must turn to research. As per the 2016 UNESCO Global Education Monitoring Report, continued research is critical and crucial to understand and address these challenges. We must focus on overcoming technology access and enhancing teacher readiness through research and program implementation to ensure online education supports global citizenship and the sustainability of education. Thank you.